Hello traders and welcome to today's market update. My name is Nick, and in today's video we are going to take a look at the currency market, look for some potential trade setups, as well as identify major zones and levels. Let's go ahead and get into it, starting out with Euro USD. Now what we can see about Euro USD is last night, or kind of depending on where you were, during the London session we started to get a little bit of some bearishness step into this market. You can see I'm looking at the 4-hour chart, and we did get some kind of bearish movement here in the London session. Now if I bring it out to the daily real quick and just kind of show you the overall context, if we draw this trend line here, what you can see is that price didn't quite get up to that trend line before finding some sort of rejection. The question will be, will this continue into kind of a further sell-off, or are we going to ultimately come up to test this trend line level of resistance that we have been watching for some time? Now, if price does start to get going to the downside, I think one of the major levels that we're going to see potentially tested is this low structure here, right? In the context of this very bearish trend here on Euro USD, the question will be, can we break down to this level of support down here? And can we break through that level? If we do break through that level, we may just be continuing into a longer term trend, as we have seen the Euro USD a part of for quite some time. Right, so if price gets down here, we might find some sort of consolidation or even a bounce. But if price continues to break through that trend, we could see a continuation of this pattern, right? So if price breaks through this level, this is going to be what to watch, right? We want to see how price reacts to this major structural low. In fact, look at this candle that we actually printed right here. You can see it's a very clear bullish pin bar, right? So if price can break through that level, it really might trigger a nice sell-off here on Euro USD to continue this overall downtrend. Let's go ahead and take a look at GBP USD, which is making a movement to the high side. You can see we do still have some bullish momentum here on this pair. Price broke through this level, as we had talked about on the one of the previous market updates. We talked about the fact that price broke through this level, came back and retested this structure here and found buyer support. Now the question will be, going forward, are we going to continue higher? And if we do, I think one of the major levels that price wants to test is going to be this area right here, right around that 1.2420 level. You can see that previously it was a major shelf, or kind of major level of support here, but actually broke through and became now a potential level of resistance. Price has not made its way up there, but it is looking like it wants to head there, as price is looking posed in kind of bullish flag here to potentially break further and continue the upside momentum, at least up into this major structural level. Now, if we do get up there, it will be interesting to see if sellers can hold that zone. I think it's a pretty good chance that sellers could hold that area to push price back down, at least for some sort of pullback. USD JPY. We are taking a look at this currency pair, and what you can see here is that we did fully break through this structure. Now, we had talked about this structure for quite some time on the market updates, and if we pull into this just a little bit closer and track our kind of progress here on this particular movement, you can see price was back and forth for quite some time, and we broke through that level, and we even talked about the price, if it came back to a retest, might be a beautiful trade, and in fact it really was. It pulled back to this zone, it gave us a nice little entry there, and price rallied from there. So going forward, the question will be, where is it going to stop? Where is it potentially looking to find some resistance? And the truth is, there really is not some beautiful level. Now, if you do highlight this area here, you can see price is already kind of breaking through that zone, and that was kind of a shelf level there. You can also see that we broke cleanly through this one, right? And take a look at how price respects this technical analysis right here, right? You can see price came up into that area and respected it both on a rejection point as well as a breakthrough and retest point. Now, going forward, we still have some major levels, but they're not until up to this structure here. You can see that this area is a multi kind of pivotal level in historic kind of movements on the dollar yen, and so price might have some room to run here. However, it would not be out of the question for price to want to potentially come back and retest some of this structure, as price is looking a bit structurally kind of stretched here, right? You can see we had a huge movement to the upside, and a lot of times what you're going to see is the market wants to come back, roll back, and find some sort of support, maybe along one of these major levels, to find additional buying pressure. Next up is going to be Brent crude. Taking a look here at the Brent crude chart, you can see that we are still kind of making a movement to the upside. We still have some momentum here to the upside. We did break through some of this structure. We remember we can talk about this level here, this level being a significant barrier that we had talked about quite a bit on the market updates previously, and we did break through that level. We did get some continuation. Now, we did not necessarily get a pullback, as I usually will wait for some sort of indication of a pullback here to look for some sort of opportunity, but we did see some continuation here, and bullish price action did break through through that level. Now on the daily chart, if we break through, or if we talk about this trend line here, you can see that we are trading slightly above this trend line. And this is going to be huge, guys, because if we do see some continued pressure here, the Brent crude chart might continue higher, right? So if we break through this level and we get maybe some sort of pullback, right? That would be more preferable to me, right? If we do see that, we might see some continuation and potentially the start of a new trend. We have this structural area here. We also have this structural area here, which extends into this, right? So some potential opportunities to ride that potential momentum to the upside, looking to see how price trades from here. Next up is going to be WTI crude, which is going to likely look very similar. And if we bring it back to the daily chart, just like Brent crude, and we draw this trend line here, you can see that on this chart, we've already broken through, right? We've already broken through this level and held that strength. And now price is making a movement to the upside. We are currently testing an area of resistance as price came into this significant area, which has been reacted to multiple times. And we do see a little bit of a sell-off coming in. The question will be, can we continue to rally? How strong is this move? And if it is going to continue, we very likely are going to want to see price head up to this area before looking to kind of sell, if all, if we have any opportunities there, right? So maybe looking for some sort of confirmation or something that meets your trade plan if price can break up into this area here. Next up is XAU USD, and what we can see here is if we kind of zoom out of this chart and we look at the daily chart, you can see that we are finally seeing some sort of major pullback on gold. Now, if we draw this trend line that we've been talking about for quite some time, right, and we point out the fact that, okay, price is currently testing that trend line, this is going to be a moment of truth, and in fact, something really interesting to watch on gold lately, because you can see this level has not been tested for quite some time, right? We had the initial kind of jump off of this low. We did retest it here, and now we are finally retesting it here on the daily chart. We've had major movements to the upside without much of a pullback, and you can see here now that price is pulling back to this level. Now, this is going to be a major test for buyers. If we do want to see a bullish continuation, right, we need to see that this level holds, right? And if this level holds, we could be headed back up to recent highs. However, the other side of the thing is that with this momentum to the downside, if it continues, if we break underneath this level, this could be a beautiful start to a nice sell trend rally. And you can see if we kind of draw this level here, this might be a nice little opportunity to get involved on the short pullback, right? Just an idea there on XAU USD. Look for some sort of confirmation or something that fits your plan in order to potentially trade any sort of move that you see. Euro Yen is our next one, and you can see on Euro Yen we are continuing this strong downtrend that we've had. Euro pairs across the board have moved down for quite some time, and Euro Yen is no one special compared to the rest right here. So what you can see is that we have seen sell pressure along the way on this trend line. And if we also draw the trend line on the bottom, you can see that we do just have a kind of channel trading market here back and forth on Euro Yen. Now, the cool thing about this is that this has been on the daily chart, right? So this is a long-term channel, and it's nothing out of the question to say that this could continue lower, right? So as price comes into this major area of resistance, we could see price roll over and find its way down. We will have to see how price actually trades. We can see that we are seeing some sort of initial rejection, and we'll have to look for some sort of continuation. But I think that this major structure low, if price decides to rally to the downside, it may be some sort of target area for price. AUD USD is the next one, guys, and looking here at the daily chart, you can see that we did get some sort of a major breakthrough, right? So we did make a big movement to the upside for the first time in quite some time. Sellers have been very, very strong on this pair, and now we can see that price is actually finally getting a proper pullback, right? And as we pull back, there are some opportunities here, in my opinion, for potential sell side action on the Aussie pair, right? Here and here, you can see those were major levels of support, and now may become major level of resistance, right? Price is stalling there currently. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait to see if price can roll over. If it does roll over, it's not out of the question that we test at least some of these structure points along the way, and maybe even head back down to recent structure lows. AUD NZD is the next one, and if we zoom in just a little bit here, you can see that we have been in the context of an uptrend, but we've recently started to chop around, right? So if I bring in kind of this, you can see we have this trend line here, right? So we were in an uptrend. We are still technically in an uptrend, but we've consolidated for some time here. The question will be going forward if we can get some sort of opportunity, if we can get some sort of breakout and potential retest on this particular chart, right? So if price breaks to the upside, and gets us some sort of pullback, might be a good opportunity to look for a long position there. Same thing on the downside, right? If we can wait for some sort of confirmation or breakthrough of the structure, we might be seeing the start of a new trend, or in the case of a buy position, the continuation of a continuing trend. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the market update. I hope you got something out of it, and we'll catch you next time.